We should proceed as follows. The people who are sitting from the first to the fifth row must evacuate to the emergency exit, located to the right of the auditorium. The people sitting from the sixth to the 10th row must evacuate to the main door. Once outside the building, you must keep going to the meeting point located right in the middle of the parking lot between this building and the previous architecture school. If someone cannot move quickly and easily, they must relocate themselves close to the columns which are indicated as low-risk spots. Please follow the instructions of the brigadiers at all times. Thank you for listening.
A warm welcome to the Mission Enterprise Final Pitch event. We are delighted to have you here today. I am honored to introduce Dr. Maria del Carmen Contilloc Escondria, director of this esteemed institution, who will share her welcoming remarks.
Hello, good morning, everybody. Representatives from the partner universities, Stuttgart Media University, Sapir College Ascalon, and UNAM. Project manager. Academics who have accompanied and supported the students. Moti Gigi from Israel, Violeta Fazulo and Christina Korik from Germany, and of course, our hosts, Diana and Claudia, who have also accompanied the students. Thank you very much for your invaluable time and effort. Today, we also have the presence of the members of the jury. Maestra Jessica González Ceja from Innova UNAM. Thank you very much for being here, Jessica. MBA Brendan David Rowlands Kershaw. Dr. Javier Noé Ávila Cedillo from the engineering faculty at UNAM. He will be here soon. And Dr. Orlando Cerón Solís from the medicine faculty at UNAM. Thank you very much for being here today and for accepting our invitation. Dear students and entrepreneurs, I would like to begin by thanking once more the Baden-Württemberg Stipendium for supporting the project and providing the necessary funds for this to happen. We hope this is not the last time you support this kind of projects. It is a pleasure to see you again today. This week has proved to be very productive for all the teams. I have been following you and observing you from my window, and I have seen you in different spaces of the school working and sharing your ideas. I hope you keep in your hearts the experience of being here and also the experience of being in Mexico. I appreciate the presence of the different people who attended the workshops and talks and presented, and I hope that this has made a positive impact in your projects. I have heard very positive comments about them. During the development of the different projects, you have also had the opportunity to learn from each other. Probably one of the great assets of this kind of projects is the intercultural experience, working collaboratively with people from different languages and cultures always opens the possibility to develop additional skills, such as nonverbal communication, tolerance, flexibility, active listening, empathy, and problem solving, just to name a few. You will always remember these memorable discussions and will keep them forever in your hearts. And also Mexico and the ENALLT. It is most probable that the original idea, the first draft of that initial proposal that each of the teams made no longer exists. Or if it does, it has substantially changed. You should all be free and proud of yourselves and of your final products. I want to congratulate all of you for being part of this experience. The idea of identifying an area for improvement and to develop something and making it work in favor of others for a social benefit is invaluable, is noble, and very rewarding. Becoming an entrepreneur is not an easy endeavor. You must have realized that it's quite complex. Quite complex from the beginning because you have to generate an idea, develop an action plan, and make sure that you can reach the final objective. The fact is that you were able to work together and you did the best to make a difference. And having said that, I would like to share with you two quotes from two important business women when referring to the topic of making a difference. The first, if you think you are too small to have an impact, try going to bed with a mosquito in the room. This is from Anita Roddick, founder of The Body Shop. And the second one, in order to be irreplaceable, one must always be different. Coco Chanel, the founder of Chanel. So I invite all of you to be different. I wish you all the best in your presentations. Remember that you, all of you, are already winners. Do your best, relax, don't be nervous, enjoy the moment. The floor is yours. Thank you all for being here. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Doctora Contillok. Today is the big day. Today we will see the effort and hard work of 5 not only international, but interprofessional teams come to fruition. Each of these teams will present their startups, which they have been developing over the course of a year. All this through the project Mission Enterprise, which is the reason why we are here today. Mission Enterprise is born in 2019 at the Startup Center of the Stuttgart Media University with a very clear goal in mind: to create an international network of universities focusing on entrepreneurship. To achieve this, regular seasonal schools are offered to exchange expertise, knowledge, and experience in one of the 3 partner institutions: the Stuttgart Media University in Germany, the Sapir College de Israel in Israel, and the National Autonomous University of Mexico. In the cycle 2023 to 2024, the host universities were the Stuttgart Media University and the National Autonomous University of Mexico through the National School for Languages, Linguistics, and Translation. None of this would be possible without the generous support of the Baden-Württemberg Foundation, whose funding has played a pivotal role in the development of this project. Today, we witness the outcome of their support as each international team presents an innovative entrepreneurial project with a clear social impact, promoting responsible interactions, sustainable practices, and contributing to making our planet a better place. Now, it is essential to define the event's organization and structure. As already mentioned, there will be 5 international teams taking part. Each team will have 8 minutes to pitch their project. Afterward, there will be approximately 10 minutes for the question round by the panel of judges. It is worth mentioning that the questions will be answered one by one. Regarding the Q&A segment, each of our esteemed judges will have the opportunity to ask up to 2 questions. To keep things organized and engaging, we recommend a structured approach. Each panel member will begin with their first question, ensuring everyone has a chance to contribute. After the initial round, judges are welcome to pose a second question if they wish. This balanced format allows for a thorough exploration of each team's project. For our online audience on YouTube, feel free to leave your questions in the live chat. Then, once the team has presented and answered the questions, the next team will have a couple of minutes to prepare everything necessary for their own presentation. Without further ado, let me introduce the distinguished panel of judges. Doctora María del Carmen Contillok Escontria, Director of the National School for Languages, Linguistics, and Translation. Maestra Jessica González Ceja, Coordinator of the Innova UNAM System. Dr. Javier Noé Ávila Cedillo from the Innova UNAM Business Incubation Unit in the Engineering Unit. Dr. Orlando Cerón Solís from the Innova UNAM Business Incubation Unit in the Medicine Unit. And MBA David Rollins Kershaw. Let's meet our first team. Jorge Soria, Itzel Guerrero, Luna Viz, and Sivan Fartuk present their project Authentic Green. Let's give it up for this team.
Okay, welcome everyone. In my opinion, sustainability is the buzzword of the century. It's a huge trend, and consumers become more and more aware and demand products which are beneficial to the environment. Companies, of course, want to profit from this expanding market and have invested heavily in production and marketing of green products. Here, you can see some examples of marketing campaigns of these green products. But here comes the problem. Sorry, I was not prepared. While some companies indeed are committed to the environment and are truly green, others only claim to be environmentally conscious while they are not. For example, here, all these companies seem quite green, but actually they are destroying our planet. This is called greenwashing, green brainwashing, and it's a deliberate attempt to create a misleading impression. Companies do this, for example, while highlighting a small positive aspect, while hiding the big problems. Sometimes they use vague terminology like eco-friendly or green without any meaning. They use packaging, which is green, which has nice symbols or images on it without any meaning, or they just invent own certificates, which are not actually environmental friendly.
So, due to the increase of greenwashing products, we found out through some interviews and experiments that the customers have to face some problems. They are not aware of the invest that they are doing in their purchases. This is because they have lack of knowledge and they don't have enough time to do a research about the products that they buy every day. And they can trust the labels that they see in their products because some of them are not trustworthy. But don't worry, we have the solution for this problem, which is Authentic Green. We developed this app, which will be helpful for the customer. And our long-term goal is to develop a label that will be in the products, and in this way, it will be easier for the customer.
So this is how the app would be shown. Here is like the main phase of the app. Here you can scan products, and here it shows suggested products, and there will be the products that are from companies that will pay for us for being there. There is also information about the products and information about ourselves and what does greenwashing means also. And well, in this app, we use two databases that are Open Food Facts and GS1. And this app will offer the opportunity of the companies to show their sustainability and to show that they are not greenwashers. And they will also present that they are transparent and that will give the companies trust and reputation.
Our target group is divided into two groups, basically. On the one hand side, we have the users of the app, which are mainly from the Gen Z, because studies found out that after price and quality, sustainability is one of the most important points when it comes to making a choice while shopping for the Gen Z. But in general, everyone can use our app who is interested in sustainability and who wants to make a better choice while shopping in an easy way. And on the other hand, we have sustainable companies. We want to work with companies who are truly green, so who actually do things for the environment, who just don't have the visibility because there are so many greenwashers around them. So it's not actually clear who's greenwasher, who is not. And we want to give truly sustainable companies the platform to show what they do.
So here comes a big question. What about money? Well, we estimate that we're going to need 100,000 euros for the development of the app. This will be divided into different phases. And there's also the maintenance of the app. And there's the cost per month and per year. And our app will be financed by sustainable companies who wants to make a change. This will be in two ways, the one-time fee and the regular fee.
So we have developed also 5 business models that are premium, subscription, pay what you want, the hidden revenue that is financing through advertisements, and no frills that is keeping the app as basic as possible just to save money.
So why will we be successful with this idea? On the one hand, the companies can increase their reputation by openly communicating all their sustainability goals. They can gain trust of environmentally conscious consumers who want to support environmentally friendly brands. And they are shown more often in our app if they pay, so they gain a lot of visibility. And for the users, Authentic Green is a source of trustworthy information without long research, so it's easily available and they can trust it. And yeah, we think that our team, Itzel, Jorge, me, and Sivan, we can work together efficiently and motivated and to reach our goal. To simplify sustainable shopping and to provide more transparency for a greener future.
Thank you very much, Authentic Green, for this interesting presentation. Your commitment to the environment is remarkable. Let's hear what our judges have to say about it.
I have two questions. First one is, how will you certify that the products that are on your app say that they are sustainable really are, and they don't lie to you just to get like marketing or new clients?
Well, actually, this will take like a series of steps in order to get to that point. So it is not that, the company says, oh, yes, we are sustainable. And no, it is like a series of steps that we are going to take account in order to do so.
Okay. And the second one is, have you think about, or how will you reduce the impact of the pollution or the gases that the use of technology or networks because of the servers and all that? Have you think about that, or how will you reduce the impact of that? Do you have like a strategy or something?
You're right, it's a good question because many companies claim to be like, oh, we are zero net CO2 emission, but they actually are just paying money to some projects. It's a very good question. I think there are, for example, servers who are actually more sustainable than others, who are not like in the desert and being cooled down by insane amounts of water. So there are different options where you host your databases. And I think in this case, if you look at the whole project, even if we have emissions through our technology, in total, it's still a plus for the environment. But yeah, it's a good input to think about. Thank you.
Well, first of all, congratulations for the idea. Could you explain a bit more which would be the steps to get to the app? For example, how long will it take for you to gather information about the companies that are really sustainable? And what are you going to give with how long will that take in order to build the app with robust data? Mhm.
So the two databases we mentioned, they already exist. So one is Open Food Sources, where almost every food you can buy in a supermarket is on the platform already. So you want to use this as like a basic information. And then, yeah, it depends on the companies, how open they are towards us. I think that would be the next step, to get in touch actually with companies and yeah, find out how big the interest is there. Yeah, and the timing is a good question about the app, because we are not very experienced in building apps, but I think we need to find out. I have no experience. I don't know about you. Yeah.
I have a question. In the app, you're going to read the barcode of the product, is that right? So do you know how many barcodes there are? There's a lot, probably millions. So
That was
how are you going to first have the information in the database, and well, each barcode, and they're changing all the time, so you have to be updating all the time. So it's going to be a huge effort to get all those barcodes into the system for each product. So I don't know whether it would be easier to just use company name, and if the company is certified and they can put the label on the products, rather than product by product. What do you think? How would you do that for the barcodes?
So the second database we mentioned is basically about barcode. So if you want to sell a product, you can go there and get a barcode from this database. So I think that's a big help already. And sorry to say, it's true. I think it would make sense if, for example, we are in touch with one company and we see they are producing in a good way, that we certify all their products. But for now, we said that we want to look at each product individually, or we try to, because sometimes it makes a difference even inside one company, because sometimes, for example, Nestle or something, or like those huge companies, or Unilever, the products are so different. You can't just say, oh yeah, the company's green. I think it makes more sense to look at the product individually. But you're right, I think it would be easier, but I think for us it's also important that it's accurate. So yeah, I think we need to make our experience and see if it's worth the extra work we do by looking at each product individually. Maybe with time and experience, we can, yeah, make this process easier.
Okay, thanks.
Could you tell us about your advertising plan, or how are you gonna get the clients? And how about competitors? Is there another idea similar to this one?
Well, about the marketing, we are going to be with sustainable companies, and for example, after doing the research about their products and see that they're sustainable, they are going to be in the app, and there will be a ranked list in which these products will be on the top, and in this way, there will be a monthly fee that the companies will have to pay for being on the top of the rank.
And regarding the competitors, there are some competitors which do similar things, but not same things. So there's, for example, one platform who does the same thing for microplastic and cosmetica, where you can scan it and then they tell you about the ingredients. Or yeah, another app only for ingredients, like if there are chemicals or hormones in, for example, body lotion or something. But it's not like this, that you can scan a product and see if it's sustainable or not. It's more about the ingredients. Yeah, and to market it, as I said, we mostly want to address the Gen Z. So social media is, I think, the easiest and cheapest way to go. Instagram, probably also TikTok. So I think there are many sources we can use.
Okay, so probably it would be a good idea if you analyze the way they've done, so it could be a parameter for you. Okay, good.
Do we have any more questions? Well, then I'm going to read one of the comments we have on the YouTube broadcast. Amr Kanan says, good luck, guys. Thank you very much. Next up, let's welcome team number 2, Face It. Aguiele Beba, Frida Tilano, and Elias Olvera share with us their product Macho Menos. Please go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. Let me introduce you to a good friend of mine. His name is Noah, and he likes being active, doing sports, for example, snowboarding and biking. He just started posting on Instagram. Unfortunately, there's a problem with his profile, specifically with his captions. Does anyone notice anything? Okay. Yeah, that's right. So Noah has a strong sense of masculine pride, which is called machismo. And even though it's not that obvious, people still get offended by it. And that's why we created. Yeah. One more. Face It games.
So you might probably be a bit puzzled about the word micromachisms. It's a relatively new term. And something that you need to know about this is that most of the times micromachisms are words, expressions, colloquialisms that people use naturally whenever they use their native language, and they're not aware of the harm they're doing because most of these words and phrases are already so deep within their usage language, their usual language, that they don't know how much harm they're doing. So it's very important for all of us to understand that macromachisms impact gender roles and the language that we use matters. But it's very important for us as well to understand what are they and how can we avoid them. And for that, we did some research.
Yes, so we conducted some interviews, first the problem interviews and then the solution interviews. In both of them, we had 20 subjects of an average of age between the 15 and the 30 years old, and they were all men and women. In the problem interviews, we stated 3 main problems: gender issues, inclusive language, and machismo. And here we found out that most of the subjects claimed to be aware of the 3 topics, but that believed that gender issues and machismo were the most serious problematics in nowadays society. Only 10% of the subjects were unsure about the topics. This means that they were a bit uninformed about them. In the solution interviews, we stated our problem, we introduced our product, and we checked the interest in our product. Here we found out that 95% of the subjects thought our product to be a very good idea. Almost 50% of the subjects said they would definitely acquire our product, and 20% of the subjects were not sure if they were if they would acquire it, but they thought that it was a good idea.
So we're already talking about our product, but you might be wondering, so what are you offering, right? So our product is called Macho Menos. In Spanish, in English would be less macho. And it's a board game. The idea behind this board game is for students and people who are between the ages of 10 to 18 to play the game and discover through gamification the harms of micromachisms in the usage of the language and their everyday words they use. We focus generally in younger generations because we feel that it's easier for them to understand these concepts. And most of them, according to what's happening right now, are more aware than older generations of what's happening. So can you, this is the high fidelity prototype of our game. All the design that you see here was created with free licensed and free of copyright pictures and images, and all the design is completely original. We also have this high fidelity game which you can play. As you can see, this is a card game. So we're going to explain the dynamics later. But the important thing that you need to know is that through all of the images that through all the images that you see here and the glossary, it's possible for the players of the game to identify the language that could be harmful and the micromachisms in their natural language. We also paid a lot of attention in the usage of the colors and the art. So purple for women, and we reverse the normal colors. You know that most people think that pink is for women, blue is for men. In this case, we played a little bit with that idea as well, in order for people to be impacted by that image and to start breaking a little bit of that macho thought from the very beginning, from the moment they start seeing our product. Can you change it? And our business model has two options, which is a free version, which would be printable, and a premium version, which is affordable. Here, the one you see here would be the premium version. The free version, we would offer it for anybody who would want to download it, and it would be our initial hook, so that libraries, schools, and people who probably cannot afford the premium version can have an opportunity to play it. And later on, maybe with enough funding, they can eventually buy it. And some of the people we are interested to work with are libraries, non-governmental organizations, schools, and academic entities that focus in gender and in these kind of issues.
So as Elias said, we want to reach some younger audience, teenagers and young adults between the 12 and the 25 years old. And thanks to our market share research, we found that currently there are no board games specializing in micromachisms. There are campaigns, informative notes on newspapers and magazines, posts on social media, but there is nothing like our idea. Nevertheless, there are some board games focused on gender issues. These are the main 10 potential competitors for us. So why are we a unique idea? We want to reach a broader audience, not just focus on men, not just focus on women. We want everybody to understand the problem. We want to use English and Spanish as main languages. Spanish because Spanish-speaking countries are known for being the most machistic places, and English because we want to give it a more global and universal focus. Of course, our focus on micromachisms, not just on stereotypes, gender roles, or gender equality, as I said before.
So this is us. First of all, Coral, unfortunately, she can't be here, but she's in the Zoom meeting supporting us. Then we have Frida and Elias, both from Mexico, and they're studying applied linguistics, and me, Ariel, from Germany, studying information systems and digital media. We want everyone to feel comfortable and help people who feel discriminated. And with the card game, we bring people together in a fun and educational way. With our studies and knowledge, we can promise great conditions to implement the project, as well as understanding our own generation and what struggles we go through in our everyday life.
So this is Macho Menos. We try being less macho one game at a time. We are Face It, and we invite you to face yourself.
So we believe this isn't just an investment, it's an opportunity to be part of a transformative journey, and we invite you to join us in shaping the future. We are open to any questions and discussions you might have. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you, Facet, for this creative proposal. Indeed, it is extremely important to eradicate these harmful behaviors from an early age. Now it's time for the question round by the panel of judges.
Hi, good morning. Congratulations. Very good idea. Well, there you have 10 competitors. Did you do any research about how are they advertising their products, and how do you have a plan for doing the same?
Well, actually, the 10 main competitors are most of the games are printable, are for free. I mean, you can download the PDF and you can print it and then play with it. And some of them are also on the market, but for example, just in Mexico or just in Brazil. They're not like global.
Yesterday, we also had the opportunity to speak with a couple of entrepreneurs that come from the Innovonam program, and we had the opportunity to speak with one of them that specializes in gender. So one of our main ideas, first and foremost, would be to speak with this kind of businesses that specialize in gender, for them to help us first to check that our game is correct, that everything that we are proposing here, it is okay, and then with their means and their networking, start showing it around first for free, and then show the premium version. So our idea would be first to establish more and better links with people who specialize in the area, even more than what we could. And then from there, and using their networking, start showing the game around. It's going to be probably a slow process, but for certain, we are sure that it will get to the people that matter, to everybody. Yeah.
Hi, my question is regarding how would you distribute the product, and have you thought about maybe licensing it to a toy company or educational companies so that you can take advantage of their supply chain infrastructure to distribute and advertise for you this product?
Yes, that would be an idea further down the line. But the first thing that we want to do is the networking with the specialists, and then from there start growing bit by bit. Because even though we've been very careful about the content and the wording and the language we're using, we think that first we need to check with this kind of specialist before going and growing into the market. But yeah, our idea would be that. Mm-hmm.
Well, which other games could you develop in order to get different income sources? And which other key resources will you need? I mean, these financial resources, material resources, etc.
Well, of course, if we are successful, we are planning to add more dynamics to the game, or probably to create newer games, maybe including inclusive language or stereotypes or gender roles. And what was the other part of the question? Funding. Oh, yes. Well, as Elias said before, we first put the free version for free, well, the free version out there. And then when we already tested, if there is a big interest in the game, then we move on to presenting the premium version. If there's no interest, then we will convey a survey so that we can know in which parts we can improve in and how we can make it better. So we present it again.
Hi, you said that the target of your users are teenagers and young people, right? Well, I think maybe it's a stereotype what I'm going to say, but I think, or it's a personal bias, that older people are less like susceptible about these problems, and that. Have you think about some solution for older users that they can understand and be more sensitive about this problem, about the micromachism problems?
Well, actually, we found out with our interviews that because we did it in average of age between the 15 and the 30 years old. And the older people were less interested. That's why we chose this range of audience.
And also, because this would be our first idea, based on what we did, and based on the results we managed to get on our research, this would be our first entry point, let's say. And for me, yes, we could probably change some ideas behind this game to make it available for older people. But yeah, in order for us to do that, we would require first additional funding and to establish ourselves inside the market and for people to be able to recognize our company and our game. So this would be like our main seller, let's say. And then afterwards, we might start thinking about other things. Yeah.
Great, thanks.
We have time for one of the questions we have on YouTube. It comes from Joa. Great idea. And the question is, why not use German as a main language? English is already a very equal.
Well, here's the thing. As Frida said it before, we want to get to as much people as possible. So, I mean, it is a fact that there are more countries that speak Spanish and more countries that speak English than countries that speak German. We have considered the idea. Yes, actually, Ariel would be a great help for that. We are studying German as well, but we're not natives. But we thought about that idea as well. But our main focus first would be the bigger markets and eventually reach other markets and many other languages as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Faisal. Mauricio. Okay. Team number 3 is made up of Mauricio Callejas, Constantine Fischer, Teresa Soma, Ronnie Sheen, and Hanita. And they will present their project, How Are You? Let's give them a warm welcome.
So, hello everyone. Before we start, just a trigger warning. We're going to be talking about mental health and mental health issues. So if this is a problem for anyone, this is the time to leave.
All right, let's start with introducing another student. This is Anna. She's a student just like you and I, or you might have been times before. And she's also studying here at University. Chemistry is her subject. She's 22 years old and she has various interests. So if you get the chance to meet her, you would assume she's a very nice and happy young girl. But as we all know, there's always stuff going on beyond people's surfaces. So in Anna's case, there's a lot of pressure going on, like, for example, peer pressure. She has financial issues. Studying can be very tough, social challenges, and other things going on. And we feel like it's time to get more in touch with people and ask them, how are you? And that's our mission, because we want to connect people to heal. There's a study that says that 6 out of 10 people or students suffer from mental health issues, and that's huge. And there are several reasons for that. For example, if you look in the prevalence of mental health problems, just as in Anna's case, there's a lot of academic pressure and social challenges with social media ongoing. And also there is the reluctance to seek help. So this is a topic with a lot of shame. So people might not feel like talking with their friends and even their families. And the third problem is, and we heard about it yesterday also, there's not as much access to therapies or other help. So we want to step in just in that moment of time.
So our target group is also university students. We found out that university students just have a lot of stress and their stress levels are very high. We also want to go to universities and colleges so that they can get this option through their university and college so that the students can get as much help as possible. So our solution, How Are You, is a platform where they can basically chat on a chat box and they can talk to students or experts and just talk 24/7 anonymously and talk whenever they need. If it's in the middle of the night, it's no problem.
So yes. So yes, our product, the key features of our product, first of all, is to enable the users to connect with peers at any time that they need to. They would have access to professionals that are certified by the universities. We want to throw information through informative articles in our site. And one of the key features, of course, is to be anonymous and safe for the users. So we actually developed a demo, a very brief demo about this. We'll have to roll the video. So we built a very, very basic chat. So we'll be looking right away here. Okay, so so there you have it. This is like the user interface. That's the How Are You, our logo, and this is only the chat feature. All right. So How Are You chat? So here you have this. You'll have to input your account number that should be provided by the university, and let's just put some random numbers there. And for the anonymity feature, you can select a nickname if you want. So for the sake of this, let's say, I don't know, let's choose Frodo Baggins. So Frodo Baggins will be my name. And here you will have the option to talk with a user, with a specific user, either a friend, someone that is also experiencing this, an experienced one that went already there, or an expert. So that's the way. We can just click on the button, begin, and there you go. This is the interface, the chat box. So you go, Frodo Baggins there, he's talking with Sam, and Sam is saying, hey, hello, how are you? He's also suffering. And Frodo answers, hi, I'm not doing very well. And what about you? Huh? That is in January 11th. But, well, this is how the users will exchange information. Let's hang out sometime. So this is just the very, very bare bones of our chat feature. That's it. Thank you very much, Oscar, for the video. And continuing on our presentation here. Next one, please. Continuing on the presentation. That's a previous one. Yes. Another one, please. So we are also in every page of our website, we will be including an emergency button. Next one, please. This emergency button will be just at the corner of every page, and it will have this legend. So if any of the users need immediate help, like if they sense impending danger for all these problems that we talked about before, they should be able to see all the information about the hotline that will get them help as soon as possible. But the reason is, well, the thing is, how are we, who are we addressing? How are we addressing it?
Yes, now let's get us to some numbers. Yes, we calculated our size of potential buyers or our market with around 7 million students in our 3 countries. There's some APA research that is about 60% of the students that have some mental health issues, and of that around 20% seek help and 30 took professional help in the past. So we get around 20 to 50% for us that we could probably address. Those 3.5 million students go to 735 universities. And for our start, we wanted to serve only our 3 universities because there we have the connections and it's the most easiest way for us. So we are around by 0.4% of the market. That market we would also have to share with some competitors that are mainly like other social media platforms or other mental health issue apps. But we have the unique combination between those 2 parts. Yes. For our business model, the easiest thing would probably be something like a flat rate model that you have a fixed cost per month or per year for the app that is paid by the students. But we also thought about a hidden revenue model where the costs are covered by the universities, so it's more accessible for the students and easier to get in. We're also working on some other features that Roni will tell you about.
So for our future features that we want to add a video platform, basically like the chat box that we have now, only with video so that they'll be able to also talk face to face if they want. We want to add seminars online and in the universities so that they can go and have classes, and student credits. Basically, students that are studying psychology can help the students that need help.
So let's get back to Anna. We started with her and remember all the challenges she was facing. And just imagine Anna used our platform and she talked with someone about her financial issues, and maybe she got some help, and maybe she even got into therapy. So in the end, Anna feels way better. And our goal is that next time Anna is the one that is going to ask, how are you?
So just to for the final touches, this is our team. This is our email that if you are interested or you need some more details, you can always send us an email. And well, that should be it. We'll be glad to answer any of your questions if you have any. And thank you very much for hearing us out.
Thank you very much. Well, it is no secret that timely mental health care for college students is of utmost necessity in today's society. And How Are You wants to help meet this need. Well, I'm sure that our judges would like to know more about your project, so let's hear their comments.
Hi, first of all, congratulations, because, well, of course, mental health is a big issue worldwide, and of course, in young people, more, well, it's a more often problem that we can see. But I have some questions, and more than questions, some recommendations, because my area of knowledge is about digital health. And of course, we have like a lot of projects and propositions about this kind of projects. So first of all, have you think about the security or data safety about your users? Have you think about it, or have a plan to make sure that all the data that you have is totally safety? Because in health data is like very, very delicate information.
So yes, we've been, I mean, we are not specialists on law, but our plan just on that, our plan regarding that is sticking as much as possible with the university's law. I mean, that would be the easiest and safest way to make sure that the data is kept within the university environment. So that would be the way to tackle that problem.
Okay, great. And well, as a recommendation, I think that you have to handle it as a social network, like only the part of peer-to-peer contact, have contact with another people more than, well, of course, the button of SOS is like really important. But the other thing, like to connect someone with a professional or more information, is called health intervention. To make that, you have to go through the bioethics committees, clinical trials, etc., and it's not that easy. So my recommendation is that to keep it like a social network, to maybe seek for empathy or to someone to talk with, more than an intervention in health, because it's quite a big issue, and more in mental health. That's it, and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
According to what my colleague said, I was about to ask you, how are you gonna hire psychologists, or who is gonna give that support, and which will be the mechanism to evaluate them and keep it safe and professional for people that is receiving those advices? I have a question.
So we thought about it, of course, and we figured out it is for us the best possibility to work with what's already there. So to talk with the universities, what do they provide? And we know that universities have people assigned for the mental health issues, and I know that they're overworked. So what we try to do is combine our forces and also internationally work together. So in sense of, because we really want to cover day and night. So if someone in, for example, Germany needs to chat or needs to talk, and they were just, it's like in the middle of the night and they were texting. So there's another person that is in Mexico at that time. So for them, it's daytime. So they can find help with a professional that is that works at university. And for this, of course, we need probably more people to work along. And this is why the psychology students would come in. So if we can manage that, they will also help out a bit, also in the sense of just covering the time in between professional help, then we can build a really big network. So that's what we believe in right now. But of course, we have to get in touch and make sure that what our ideas that they align with reality, of course.
Yes, that was the next question. What happens if someone has a crisis at 3 a.m.? Will you have someone available? So that's a good solution that you mentioned already. And something that you show kept my attention because you enter with an accounting number. So will it be random? I mean, will you be anonymous? Because sometimes you want to keep it private. Maybe you don't want to be identified at the university, or no?
You mean for the users, if they?
Yeah, for the user.
So users get assigned a number by the universities, so not everyone can join into that network. You have to get the number assigned in order to use the platform, and then you can use any nickname, so you don't have to reveal your identity.
Okay. So you need to be aware that you need to keep those numbers assigned under, well, I don't know how to say it. So it should be private, not accessible for other people. No? So
yes.
That's another thing. And maybe you will have other clients, not only universities paying for this platform. Maybe healthcare systems could apply it in the next phase of the development. So you may have incomes from other sources, not only those, but it's a good start. And which could be your competitors? Have you found some projects similar to this?
So yeah, we have there's BetterHelp, if you know that app, which I think is the closest competitor. The difference is that there's only experts. Here we want people to be able to have someone to talk to all the time, and it doesn't have to be anyone professional, just so that a lot of students feel lonely, so that they will be able to have someone to talk to when they actually need it. And also the competitors, for example, in the colleges where you have psychologies, and if people in that place, you don't have it all the time, like you don't have it 24/7. So we want to basically be able to give people a platform for all hours of the day.
Also, what we think that makes us very special is that we're working hand in hand with the universities. So we can gain more trust from the users, from them knowing that we are following the university's law and the privacy settings. So that's why our competitor, like Better Talk, or maybe other government, let's say, firms or entrepreneurs will not get what we want to do. The way we connect with the universities is our strength.
First of all, congratulations for the project. It's a really good idea. Imagine we go 10 years from now to the future. How would you define success to this project? I mean, what would you achieve 10 years from now?
I think the best thing would be to cure some people that are suffering, probably. But in 10 years, our goal would be to get the platform started on some universities in Mexico, Israel, and Germany, and then maybe get the whole platform started also with the features that Roni mentioned, and probably include some other plans for the future, like going to other countries or to other kinds of schools.
And what would be the major problems you had in these 10 years? I mean, this problem was huge. Could you define 5 problems that you will have as a platform? The biggest one, I mean, the 5 biggest ones, problems that you will have. You will not have people, you will not have connection, you will not have money to keep the project going, or
I think the biggest problem probably is at the moment, or would be then, the financing until then, because we need some servers if we can't use the university servers, or if we get bigger, we need some own servers probably somewhere, and we want to remain the service as cheap as possible, so it's that university students can afford it, and also if the universities don't want to pay for this service, I think that would be our biggest struggle in that time.
Well, my recommendation is to figure out the boundaries. I mean, you have to imagine what are the boundaries of the service, and you have to imagine what will the problems become the biggest one. And in order to define the solutions, I mean, like error mode platform, and you have to work at the beginning with I mean, imagining all the problems that you will have, and making it more like an armor. Thank you.
Yes, hi. My question is, have you thought about having like chat rooms so that people with the same sort of issues can meet together and discuss their issues? I mean, like, I don't know, Neurotics Anonymous and those sort of things. And the second is, how would you avoid people going on platform that shouldn't really be there? I don't want to say trolling, but not doing what there's, not working together, or just doing it for a bit of fun or a laugh, right? So I wondered how you solve that problem.
So yes, the demo that we displayed also only featured a very basic filter. Like the friend ones are supposed to be users that are not feeling very well. They may not be specifically have the same problem, that they are feeling down or they are feeling very stressed. The experienced option was for someone that that could get that could move on from that state, and the professionals, of course, certified psychologist as by the university. But of course, adding filters, I mean, every kind of user will be assigned properly from the university's point of view. I mean, you cannot be a professional just because you say you're a professional. So the universities will take care of putting the appropriate users in the specific category. But it would be, well, for, as a future prospect, of course, like enhancing this, well, putting more options in the filter to make sure that you are talking with an user that has like something in common with you. That is something that we already thought about as a future prospect, of course. But yes, of course, we will be taking, we took consideration on that.
Yes, that was mainly for the chat rooms. We also thought about at some point adding chat rooms or something like that, but this would be a further step in the future if the chat thing is working one by one, and then we will go on. And for the trolling, we also thought about maybe adding some rating system or report button that you can get the person that is trolling you banned for some reason, and we will probably check it and then say, yes, it's true or false. And then the person might get banned or something like that from the platform.
Hi, congratulations, everybody. Very good idea and very necessary. Have you thought about the offer and demand? For example, how many professionals, psychologists, etc., would you be thinking of to begin with? How many? And what will happen if you have a great demand? Have you thought about that? How would you start with how many people would you be inviting and convincing that this is different from what they are usually doing for the university?
Yes, so I think in that sense, it makes sense for us if we get a platform ready to start small, you know, to find one faculty you can start working with, maybe the psychological faculty where people are already more sensitive with the topic, and because they are very aware of what's going on already and what is the challenges that we're facing. So it's not that much of a hard time to convince people to join in. But you will have to find like a user group and test it and then test it over again. And I think that will take a lot of time, because otherwise you can't really calculate numbers in beforehand, because there's so many students and of course there's little help in comparison. But this is why we really want to aim for students to also join in. It would be amazing, for example, if they get credits for that as well, you know, to professionalize helping each other. So also strengthen the community itself. So this is what we're thinking. So it's going to be a lot of steps, but I think eventually then you'll be able to calculate if the whole platform is designed in the right way to help as many people as possible.
Thank you.
Do we have any other question, comment? I think we have an answer on the chat on Zoom from one of the team members. Please correct me if I'm wrong. It's Mai Shein. And okay, it says, yes, of course. With mental health, one of the big problems is people seeking and asking for help. With this platform being established within the university, this can help many students receive help without having to do research and looking for a platform like BetterHelp, which was mentioned. This is a very important advantage for this service. Oh,
thank you.
Thank you. How are you? Ever wondered how to make better financial decisions? Dulce Espinosa, Max Illenfeld, Ruth Casa, Shoham Schmila, have the answer with their project Find Ed.
All right. Let's start with a question. What do you think the number one reason for a college dropout is? Konstantin. Difficult exams. What do you think? Economic reasons. Exactly. The number one reason, according to several studies and articles we found, for example, by Think Impact, is that 40% of college dropouts claim that financial reasons was the main reason. We experienced that as well. In our friend group, some of them could never study because they lack financial resources, or they had to drop out because of that. That's why we started Find Ed. There's something missing. Wait, try again. One more. Perfect.
Okay. So we interviewed 40 students and teachers, and they proved us our idea that there is no education about the world of finance. There is a student lack knowledge about the world of finance, and there is no expertise at institution. That means that there is no classes that you can educate yourself about the finance world. So that's why our solution is an interactive workshops at high schools and colleges and universities by teaching financial skills.
So our product is workshops. Based on focus groups and interviews that we did, we decided to create 2 to 4 hours interactive workshops that will be in person, online, and hybrid. Next page. Basically, the main workshop topics would be the whole financial world, budgeting, scholarships, and more. And here you can see some examples like how to find a job and more. So our unique value proposition would be that we're tailoring content to be relevant to current problems. We also try to make our workshops to be as practical as we can to help our students as best as we can. And we're also independent from financial institutions to help protect our values. Competitors?
Okay, in our competition, focusing on Stuttgart, we found that our closest competitor are different sources of knowledge available, such as websites, blogs, social media content, and school curriculums with limited financial studies. But, oh, no. The most important thing is that we found in Stuttgart that there is no direct competitor, giving us the advantage of being the first mover.
Now you can. Thank you. So what is our strategy? As Dulce already mentioned, the first we want to focus on Stuttgart. You'll find the main reason for that in the next slide. After that, we want to expand to Mexico and Israel. After we had some learnings, we conducted the first workshops and found the proper business model for our venture. And in the end, we want to expand into more cities, more countries, and diversify the workshop. But that's in 2 years. So first, we got to gain some experience. So there are 157 institutions in Stuttgart, 7 universities and 150 high schools. We want to charge 260 euros per workshop and an estimated total market value of 40,800 euros in Stuttgart. For the strategy, not to bore you with numbers, our goal for 2026 would be a 25% market share if we scale as we plan to, or the more optimistic goal, optimistic strategy would be a faster grow in Stuttgart with a above 31% market share.
So for our initial business model, where would we getting the money from? So students would pay per workshop about 1 to 2 euros. And for our future business model, we want to take that away from students. So institutions would be paying per workshop, and we would also have workshop subscription and corporate and sponsorship. We would like to try the 3 of them, but we would mainly focus on the first 2.
But who are we? Yeah, we got introduced in the beginning, but we didn't talk about who we are individually. So Ruth, who are you?
So I'm a student in communication studies. So marketing strategy and sales would be my part of the job, and customer service support is something that I don't mind doing.
So I'm in charge of project management, teaching material design, and quality assurance. And as a teacher trainee, I would like to provide the young people with the necessary skills and education to have a good life.
I like to talk, so I will conduct the workshops in the beginning. And I also like numbers and IT. So that's my field of expertise in this group.
Okay, so I'm Sham, I'm from Israel, and I will be the corporate design and data analyst because I'm also studying communication, and this is part of my studies.
So our strategy for the next couple of years, you know already, but what are our next steps now? So first, we want to expand the teams in Israel, Mexico, and Stuttgart. I have 2 friends lined up from the financial side who will help conducting workshops, so we have the proper ideas and material behind that. We want to seek help at our startup centers so we can grow accordingly. And yeah, complete the first proper workshop. So far, it's just a low fee, high fee prototype. So yeah, the minimal viable product and connect with customers. Our mission is that we at FiNet, we're committed to empowering young adults with crucial financial skills, turning them into informed, autonomous navigators of their financial journeys. Our mission centers on closing the gap in financial education. So we are FiNet. Invest in knowledge, invest in your future.
A big thank you to FiNet for sharing your evolutionary ideas with us. It is very important to equip our university students with the tools to face the real world out there, and knowing how to put our money to better use is part of that. Let's hear our comments from our judges.
Hi. Have you think about or have you looked at other programs or yeah, these kind of programs that have other financial institutions like the International Development Bank or the World Bank or other institutions have like some problems? Have you looked at them and which is the difference between your program and theirs?
We looked at them, yes, but in our study focus group, in our interviews, we learned that generally people don't trust financial institutions, especially with like general ideas. So we thought if we could not be behind them, if we could not be associated with financial institutions, they could trust us a little more. And also we want to come through the university, or the universities and college and high schools. So yeah, that would be the main difference, but the material we would provide, it would be, I guess, kind of similar, but yeah, from us and not from them.
In what moment you will be able to scale the program? I mean, you will be first at in Stuttgart and then to Israel and Mexico. In that moment, what will you notice about your product that is now ready to be scaled to other countries?
I'm gonna do that one, then you can do the next one. So our first step is to get references and experience to see if our product is actually working, and then we want to scale. For example, we talked about later, if we stay on the biggest side, we want to train the trainer, so we can scale into different cities without being there. We hire someone, we train them, and they can conduct the workshops that we want to. So what would we need for us to scale would be positive feedback, references, and a bigger team, and of course, the financial side, so we can afford growing.
And how will you certificate the trainers?
Well, by training them ourselves. You mean the other people conducting the workshops in other cities?
Okay.
That's something when we grow, we will talk about that. But that's our general idea. But for now, we don't have a plan yet.
Well, for possible evaluations, we have possible credits, giving credits for doing the workshop. And well, that would be 10 steps ahead, but we would also offer a certification for it.
Well, I think that maybe, well, it's more a suggestion than a question, because students actually have finance problems, so they can't pay, so that's why they quit. So how can they pay for your finance advice? So maybe you may find another source of revenues. Maybe you may start with that future business model you present, instead of start with the students paying for the service. I don't know. Maybe you may think a little bit about it.
I think that we chose that business model because right now what we need is getting the money right away. So it would be the easiest way, but it's exactly what we want to do, to take away that from students. And we want either the state or the institution to pay the workshops.
We didn't want to present a maybe, because we haven't talked to institutions yet if they would cover the costs, but we learned from the interviews that they would be willing to pay 1 or 2 euros, or like a small amount for the workshops. So we wanted to present something that could actually happen based on our research, and not something that we want to do in the future.
My question is, have you thought of putting the workshops online and on demand rather than live? Because it seems what you're saying is there'll be a workshop and it's going to be at a certain time in a certain place. So I'm just wondering if it would be cheaper just to have a on-demand workshop.
That's a good idea.
Yes, thank you. We thought about, with time, as we grow, creating more workshops that are tailored to each person's necessities. At some point, we want to not only focus on the students, but also for everyone, that education should be available for everyone. It would be tailoring those workshops online, hybrid. They don't need to be live, and we would like to do that, but that's 10 steps ahead. Thank you.
And especially in the beginning, we need the references, we need the feedback from the students, so we can know how to improve our product. And if it's a finished workshop, it's more difficult to read the room, for example, or answer questions. So yeah, as a first step, we want to grow into the universities and also use the circle to grow, but later on demand would be probably the best step for everyone to use. Thank you.
Hi. I wonder if you have thought about the contents of the workshop, because well, I'm sure universities have an accountancy faculty, right? So most of them offer workshops of different kinds all the time, online, right? Your target population is the students. So about the contents of the workshop, what is going to make the difference so you can convince students to take yours and not others? What are you going to offer different from what is usually offered?
First of all, I agree that some workshops are offered like this, but in our 40 interviews, no one said they knew about any of them. So maybe they would need better marketing, I guess, in the first place. But yeah, about the contents of the workshop, I think you have more to say.
Well, first, we say these workshops are very practical and interactional. They offer real life situations in which they can make the knowledge significant. They would not be like the traditional books and lectures. And also we have the possible evaluations that would make them want this, like offering the certification, giving credit for it. Or we also had the idea of implementing these workshops during the orientation week. So usually students attend that week. And I think that as time goes by, if this institution is the one paying for it, it's more likely for them to assist and take these workshops.
Do we have any other questions, comments? Thank you, judges, and thank you, finance. Have you ever noticed that the younger generations are lost in the digital world, as if they were living life through a screen? Well, Viviana Ramos, Jasmine Ivanov, Kilian Kunkel, and Yoav Contente might have the solution. Please welcome Unplugged.
So one of our team members cannot be here today, but he's making the intro. So I'm playing that over the box over here. So I hope you can hear it.
Nature. And we started getting blinded by the light of our phones. Midford, a 26 years old tech professional who recently started his first job. While professionally he's an expert, he prefers to spend his breaks checking WhatsApp on Instagram instead of asking his friends, "What's up?" You probably know this situation. You have a few minutes of break and you prefer to check what you're missing on Instagram because you don't want to miss anything. But suddenly people realize you don't have a good answer to the simple question, what's your passion? So, ladies and gentlemen, Please put your cell phones on flight mode and get ready to your vacation.
Okay, well, thanks, Joab. And yeah, it is a fact that our society, despite being connected or interconnected with through wires and signals, we are facing the thing that we are disconnected from the world that surrounds us. Okay, so that's why we invite you all to enter Unplugged Getaways. What we want is, well, it is an idea of creating spaces for people like Paul, where they can learn to reconnect, build friendships, and having the real world as a main character. What we offer is simple. There are events that it could be from half a day to a complete week, and doing offline activities. Yes, obvious. Thank you. I forgot about that. And yeah, why should you choose us? It's because we have a strict policy of non-electronic devices during the event. Okay. Yeah, I think that's another one. Yeah.
So to tell you a little bit more about what is our project about, what is our app we developed or we made a prototype of, we will show you this, and maybe it's getting a little bit more clear for you what we are talking about. So this is the first screen, as you can see here, if you open the app. This is our logo. We name ourselves Unplugged Getaways. And if we go to the next slide, exactly, this is the screen that will pop off after you've seen our, or after all the data has been loaded from the database. The app can be divided into 3 regions, let's say more or less like that. Starting with the top region, which is over here. Exactly, on the very top, you can see here Stuttgart, Germany. Firstly, we want to focus on the German market because it's more easy to have a marketing concept and all this for just one market, and we go on if we have gathered more information and have enough money also to expand. What you can do here is set your current location, change it. You can search for some keywords, or you can use one of our quick filters, which are more, which is like sports, arts, food, family. So we have a trip for everyone. Below that, you will see the events that you have booked, which is like your events. For example, our customer here has booked 3 days, 2 nights in the Black Forest, a retreat with 17 plus 3, like 20 other people going there, which is in Freudenstadt in Germany, in the south of Germany, in a small cabin. And next to it, for example, a beach volleyball course, which may take only 1 day. Below that, you have some recommendations as well. So going to the next slide, you can see some more of our filter options. I don't know if you have seen it. There was a filter button on top. We have, for example, the length of your stay, the location, and also the area around it, where you want to be informed, or where what you just have seen on the first page, the recommendations for, as well the time and date and the price range. So the last one of our prototype on the next slide is if you found one that you like. For example, we go to the Black Forest again, which is a Unplugged Originals event. So it's an event curated by us. It's at the Berner Hütte. You see the location, you see the dates, who is going. You can invite your friends over here and have some more information about the event. And if you're interested enough, you can directly buy the ticket and you go with your friends. The next slide we have just combined to see for you how the app, the look and feel of the app. As you can see, we have chosen colors red and blue for corporate design. And with that, we go on to our next slide.
So what do we offer? So as you can see here, we have different types of experience we can provide. We have simple workshops, just as yoga classes or a Tai Chi class, which start at 15 euros for a session, to a 1-week vacation, which is all inclusive. So there's an unplugged experience for everyone's wallet.
Exactly. Speaking about wallets, 1,357 euros. That's the average spend of a German adult on holidays per year. So if you calculate that we are 60, 70 million adults in Germany, that's coming around 100 billions of euros each year that's spent. To put this into perspective, this is double the GDP of Bolivia. So that's meaning there's a lot, this market is big. There's a lot of money to make, but also a lot of competition that we have to face, of course. And yeah, how we want to face the competition, Yasmin is telling you both of our revenue streams we plan to have.
Yeah, talking about money, we have 2 different types of revenue streams. And in the beginning, we will just focus on the left one, or the right one, which is coming from our own curated events that we organize by ourselves, and we can price them how we want them to price. They are called Unplugged Originals. And if we get more customers and have a small network, the second revenue stream will come into play. That means that external organizations can provide events where we'll take a share of the total price they are offering it for, and that will be 15%. So you know now something about what we want to do, but not about us. So to introduce our team, we will start with Joaf. It's very sad that he can't be here, but you heard him in the beginning of the presentation. So he is responsible to create and curate our unplugged original trips. Then there's Kilian, our IT specialist. He's trying to keep the app updated and implement new functions if necessary. Then there's me, Yasmin. My task is to build up a suitable marketing for our company and realize it with suitable partners. And last but not least, there's Vivi. She's close to the customer, tries to fulfill their needs and solve problems if they need any help.
Okay, so do you remember Paul? Well, now he looks happier and without the phone, relaxed. And yeah, he has changed a lot. Next. So here we are again. We're standing in front of you, inviting you again to join us to Unplugged. And we do create genuine friendships and rediscover the offline.
Thank you, Unplugged, for your presentation. It is true that we forget to look away from our phones, keep our heads up, and be present in the here and now. Let's find out some more about your project through the questions from our panel of judges.
Hi, how people would know about your project? It's about the marketing, how they know that your project exists, and how would you compare with other platforms like Airbnb experiences and other kind of solutions?
Well, we will use yeah, we thought about that because we want the people to be unplugged, and yeah, but yeah, we will use social media. We will use also, this is an app, but we will try also to figure out to do a platform online, like a website. But yeah, we will use social media principally. and what advertising depends on, well, our growth. It depends on how we are growing.
How many users you need per month to be profitable? I mean, to have a profit.
Yeah, okay, it's working. How many users we need? So I think there's not a real perfect answer for it. So we had imagined to develop all these app and yeah, to get to market. It will cost initially a lot of money to develop it and also to curate the events and the trips. So in the beginning, we need some investors' capital to be profitable. But we think if we have a small network and especially returning customers, and this is in the end of step one, where we more work like a travel agency. If we gone over that path, we have a bigger network of customers, and all other companies are interested in providing trips through our app, through our platform. At this point, the revenue will go more up because we will save a lot of time in curating the events. So I don't think there is special numbers, but it should be around in the thousands of customers. Yeah.
Okay. And you present two options. The one that you cure, and the other that it's like external person changes and make. If you have to choose one, what would you choose? The option one that you cure or the other?
So in the beginning, there is no really an incentive for other companies to use our app, because why should they use our app if we have not customers? So in the beginning, we of course have to be with our unplugged originals. And if we persuade the customers that our trips are good and we have a returning customer base, then we would more focus on the second one. But in the beginning, just the first one with our own events makes sense for us. And later we will work on the others. That's the plan. Yeah.
Will there be a rule about unplugging? I mean, I go to the trip and then there will be a box where I should put in my cell phone, or what happens there?
Yeah, it's kind of like that. So we have a strict no electronic devices policy. That means that in the beginning of the trip, you sign a contract and you hand in your electronic devices, but we have emergency contacts from every person. That means if something happens to the person, they can reach us and we reach the people that have the problem, and on the opposite too. Yeah.
Thank you.
Do we have any other questions coming? Thank you, judges, and thank you, Unplugged. Congratulations to all 5 teams for making it this far. I think we can all agree that you did an excellent job. And actually, we have a lot of clapping hands emojis on YouTube for all of you. But let me ask for a round of applause for all of you here in the auditorium. Well, the honorable members of the jury will have some time to discuss the projects presented today and recognize the most remarkable ones. In the meantime, we will have a 10-minute coffee break. It's 13 past 12, so that means we will be back at 12:23. 12:23, okay? Welcome back. Now we will have some final words for our teams from our panel of judges.
No, we will present in the order that the projects were presented, okay? So for the first project, Authentic Green, we have Brendan Rowlands to make some comments.
Hello. We really like this project. We think that it's very important. I am from the private businesses industry, fast-moving products. One of the products I used to make was on your slides, so I know how difficult it is to get the companies involved in this sort of work. But I think it's really important that this work is done, and I really appreciate everything that you've done investigating this. I think it's good. It will be huge if you can get it off the ground. It will be huge because everybody needs to know about the sustainability of what they're purchasing, and I think it's becoming a hot issue. I know there's one for clothes, for example, whether they're using child labor or whether they're using sweatshops around the world. So I think this is a good complementary project, and I really congratulate you on all the work that you've done on that. It was great. Thank you.
Oh, yes. Okay, the members of the team, please come and receive your prize. Bravo. Bravo! Applause! Okay, the second project was Face It Games, Macho Menos, no?
Well, all the problems that you have present here are important, and all the teams have find out original solutions to them. As you know, gender topics are very important nowadays. It's a trend topic mainly all over the world. So looking for different ways to approach this and educate people and to help them to get more open-minded to these topics, it's very important. So that's why we wanted to make a special mention for this team, because the originality of the approach they have to put their effort in the solution of these topics is very important. So very well. You know what are the next steps, so please come with us and we will help you to develop that. Congratulations. Maybe we should make a picture of them and the other team as well. So. With the other team, yeah.
A ver, if the second team can come here with Jessica to have a picture. Thank you. And the first team, please come back for the photograph with Brendan. Smile. It's over. Relax. Great, thank you. Okay, the next project will be presented with Orlando, and he's going to make some comments about it.
Well as I told you, it's very important to face these problems, the mental health problems, and I think each one of us can make the difference. So I also encourage the team to get approached with their universities to make a whole project with the three parts, with the UNAM, the University of Germany, and the University of Israel. I think it's totally possible to gather all these efforts and make this project reality. And of course, because I'm sure most of the universities has programs and are interested in mental health issues. So I think you can do the difference and have a follow-up of this project. So congratulations, and well, we think also you deserve a special mention.
Well, I really want to congratulate all of the teams, and they make the greatest effort to present today. But there is one project that I want to talk about. It's FINET. FINET, it's economic, financial setup. And I think these kind of enterprises are the future. And most of the fintechs that are now are based on this kind of needs. So I want you to encourage you to continue learning about all of the ecosystems that are involved in fintech. I really think that this project will grow really, really big, and I really think it's gonna have success. And congratulations. Thank you. Congratulations. Tequila. Queso. No, muchas gracias.
Okay, and last but not least, unplugged getaways. And I like very much the idea that it was the last project to present, because we all nowadays, today, as from today onwards and the next holidays, we will need to really go with this reflection in mind. Most of us believe that the technology in our hands, and that we are looking at it now probably, is an extension of the human body. And it's not. There are times when we need, especially in these times of trouble in the world, we need peace of mind. We need to relax. We need to interact with other human beings in another way that is not technology, via technology. And that's why I like the project. And I think in this beginning, we need to go forward with it. And we all here today, we invite you tonight to have a 5-minute reflection on how disintoxication about the phone, and we think about ourselves as human beings. And that's why I like the project. And I congratulate the 5 projects here. Have a very good future. Don't leave it like that. Don't leave it on the desk to rest the rest of your lives. Go on with it and try to do something with it, okay? And it has been a pleasure here. I need to ask the members of that team to come here to give them their prize, the photograph.
Well, please.
I'm not very good at, I prefer to write down the ideas. So I have a final message for you all. So by now, you've chosen a problem and developed an innovative idea to solve it. Remember to link it with your personal values and goals once you do the next step. Now, you have the tools to go forward, but also friends and partners and experts that could walk along with you in this journey. So remember, you don't need to have all resources and perfect conditions to start. The best time to do it is now. We will be truly happy for helping you achieve your goal and see how your dreams and ideas become a reality to bring solutions to impact positively in our community. So keep doing your projects and we'll be here for you. Okay? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, judges, for your valuable comments. And before you go back to your seats, ENALLT and also the Mission Enterprise 2024 team wants to show our gratitude to you with some small presents. And I will mention each of the judges one by one to give them the present. First, we have Doctora Carmen Contillo.
Thank you very much.
Maestra Jessica González. Doctor Javier Ávila. Doctor Orlando Cerón. Maestro Brendan Rowlands. And we also want to say thank you to Moti. Okay. I will now turn the floor over to the organizer of this project, Violeta Fazulo.
Okay, great. Thank you. Most of you might wonder, who's she? Why is she on the floor? Yeah, you might not have met me so many times, but I was the one who initially started this project. So the reason why you are here is not because only of me, but because we have a great team. We have amazing universities. And before I continue with these nice words, just a small reminder from Lisette. She sent out the email. You were reminded by your professors, please fill out the evaluation form. It's very much needed for us as we do have to do the final reporting. So this is why you don't see me or didn't see me that much. I'm more in the background currently. I was on maternity leave for some quite a time. And yeah, this is why I'm back now and only doing the background things. Yeah, so this is just very short. I know we are all hungry. We are all tired of clapping and sitting, and I know that. And just very quickly, it started in 2019 when I reached out to several universities to do this project. And yeah, now we are here with Mexico and Israel, and I'm so happy that we made it. We were talking about yesterday while you were working on your projects. It was quite a bumpy road. We had pandemics, we had war, we had strikes, we had so many different things. So yeah, you can imagine what kind of journey is behind us. And also the final Mission Enterprise event today. So it's a bit sad for us because it's finalizing. So, but you are the ones happy that you could join this journey as well, and that you are the last cohort taking part in this. And yeah, so I really enjoyed it. I want to thank everyone here in the room, especially Diana, Claudia, there, yeah, and Moti, for being such great partners in this project, for being always there, even though I wasn't there, and also the ones who are not here today, who couldn't join us, Christina, who is sick, Magda, who was a great teacher as well, and all of the other, and Lisette especially, who was doing a lot of work on the background, and everyone you didn't see, but had a lot of work, the technicians as well here, and all the jury members, and everyone. It's so difficult to mention everyone, but please don't feel left out just because I don't mention you. Also, I mean everyone, and I'm really, really thankful. Yes. Big round of applause. Yeah, so also thank you very much for bearing with us. It might have been also bumpy for you. I know that it's not always easy. And my last words now will be that I know how important international collaboration is. I was here in Mexico teaching at UNAM 10 years ago, and it's still in my heart. So maybe you take away something from today. Maybe you have made some friends or just some connections or just some new thoughts. And I really hope that you take away something and that you continue this journey of international collaboration. We know nowadays how important it is. Yeah, we all know the crisis in the world. And maybe you can do your little spice and put it into the world and yeah, be there for the world who needs great entrepreneurs, not only entrepreneurs, but also great people. Thanks a lot and enjoy the rest of your stay. And I will hand over to you. Very much.
Well, sadly, all good things have to come to an end, but we saved the best for the end, and we are going to take a trip down memory lane. There's a surprise for you to experience again different emotions you felt throughout the journey. You created very beautiful memories that you will take with you forever. And to close this event, we have another chance to capture some memories. So please, everyone, come to the front so that we can take a picture together. Yeah, we will meet everyone in the garden to have lunch together.